Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader and today we'll be focusing on the presidential activities of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on Saturday and on Sunday, but we'll be giving more significance to the events which took place on Saturday and the political leadership support for the heritage handicrafts as an exhibition entitled Our Heritage or Turathuna was being held at the EIEC in the 5th settlement area with the attendance and the inauguration of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi with, of course, the support of the political leadership, and different agencies from different governorates in Egypt are pushing to be having more handicrafts and better handmade products that would be marketed even globally in the upcoming years. So we'll be focusing on that push which took place on Saturday and the inauguration of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the Our Heritage exhibition which took place on Saturday. And on Sunday we will be having the main top story for tonight for the Daily Debate, coming as well with the presidential activity of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the cultural symposium in the month of victory on or for the 6th of October, the memories of the great victory for Egypt against Israel which took place in 1973. And to be shedding more light on the inauguration of the exhibition on Saturday, I am honored to be having with me tonight engineer Mohamed Kamel Morsi, the development planning expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
But we'll be starting with the top story for today, as I said in the beginning, and it comes with the presidential activity of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, as President al-Sisi urged on Sunday the awareness of the conspiracies that aim to undermine the country's stability. In a televised speech during the Armed Forces 32nd Cultural Symposium, President al-Sisi underlined the necessity of preserving the state, especially amid emerging challenges and the new types of war. President al-Sisi reaffirmed that the state can overcome all the challenges that it faces, adding that he was not promoting for delusions when he previously warned of the major emerging challenges. We will be having more details in the upcoming report about the presidential activity of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on Sunday and the cultural symposium held for the armed forces and the 32nd edition of it, for the edition of victory for the month of October, commemorating the 6th of October war victory in 1973 against Israel. So let's see it.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has said that at the present time a state might not be defeated through a traditional war regardless of the strength of its army, adding that the defeat occurs when the people lack resilience. He noted that the individuals who stole railroads in the aftermath of 2011 revolution are not foreign enemies but natives who had been turned into enemies to their country. The president warned of 4th and 5th generation warfare, hinting to the attempts of certain fugitives to derogate the accomplishments executed by the Egyptian state in many sectors with the aim of achieving growth and development. He asserted that what the Egyptian state is doing now is not just creating solutions to problems, noting that it was a fight for survival. President al-Sisi's remarks came in the ceremony held by the Egyptian Armed Forces on Sunday to celebrate the 45th anniversary of the 6th of War October. Earlier, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli presented the challenges facing the Egyptian state and the key projects undertaken to mitigate their impact. The Prime Minister underlined overpopulation as the major crisis, crippling growth and the development of Egypt. The Prime Minister gave some figures on the evolution of certain aspects of life in the country. He pointed out that the country had over 50,000 schools in 1999 and that now it has over 500,000 schools. He added that in 1960, Egypt had 6 universities and colleges, and that the figure now stands at over 260. By the end of 2020, Egypt will be totally clear of some areas. The president said that one of the persistent problems is that 60% of Egyptian doctors migrate to other countries.
That was a report about the presidential activities of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, more specifically on Sunday as the 32nd edition of the Cultural Symposium for the Armed Forces was held with the attendance of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and we did see a number of statements made by President al-Sisi on this occasion. As I said in the beginning, we will be focusing on the other presidential activity which took place on Saturday at the EIEC at the 5th Settlement area, where President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi inaugurated the Turathuna, or the Our Heritage exhibition. It tells a lot about the Egyptian identity, about the Egyptian culture, about the Egyptian DNA, which President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi always speaks about, especially for the youth at the World Youth Forum at least once or twice a year. The Egyptian identity was evident at the Our Heritage exhibition, with the handicrafts and the handmade products coming from different cultures of Egypt and different parts and governorates of the country. Engineer Mohamed Kamel Morsi, first of all, how did you see the exhibition? What is the importance of it? And more specifically, how do you see the importance of the participation and the inauguration of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to it?
I think it's a great initiative. I think that the president patronage and attendance and opening the exhibition is a clear message of the importance of the handcrafts and the heritage to the economy of Egypt. The small medium enterprises in general represents a very significant contribution to the economy in terms of employment and in terms of contribution to the GDP. So I think that it's a clear message from the president that he would like to support the work in this area. I think that this initiative is a great step in identifying all the handcrafts or the art, the different people from the different governorates.
Yes.
And I think it's a great step on creating a first step as a database or an identification of all those people. I have seen that a number of them have taken a number of trainings, which is a second very important thing of taking those teams to the next level.
Yes.
And I think that one of the the third step that is quite important is the creative Egypt, or the branding that the government is trying to build. So I think those are three very important steps that the exhibition of yesterday that we have seen from the exhibition of yesterday.
Yes, those steps are always heading and always aiming at having the brand of made in Egypt. How do you see the importance of having such a brand here in the country, and how far are we from it?
I think it's a very important step. So if we talk about made in Egypt, this is the way that you brand your products.
Yes.
All across the world. The handcrafts, it's a market of over hundreds of billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. So those are the items that goes into home decors. Those are a number of things that you have in your house, number of clothes. So the different handcrafts represent a very significant amount in the economy. If you have a single company trying to work by itself, it will be very difficult to export.
Yes.
It will be very difficult to make a big contribution to the economy. Mm-hmm. So by branding or by creating made in Egypt, this creates a big market to all the players, and having all those players under one single roof.
Mm-hmm. We can see the tour of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi during his inauguration of the exhibition. He praised the quality and the craftsmanship of the designers and the exhibitors there at the exhibition. How do you see the importance of having artists in this specific field, and more specifically, as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi always tells us and always speaks about the Egyptian identity, the importance of asserting the Egyptian culture for the Egyptian women in specific. How do you see this helping that concept?
I think that I don't want to exaggerate and saying that we have been one of the oldest civilization in art, and having different artists and crafts and handcrafts from history, I would say.
Yes.
And I think that the president is putting a focus on those talents, on giving the opportunities to the youth, on giving the opportunities to the women, on giving the opportunities to small companies or single people company, and giving them the way to grow and to talk to the whole Egypt, and also potentially in the next step to go to the whole country, to the whole world.
Yes.
So I think it's a very important step, and it's a very I think it's a very good opportunity for the different companies working in, or the different handcraft working in this.
I was there at the exhibition yesterday, and the organizers and the exhibitors and the people there are all speaking about the political leadership support for them, and that this year they have more advertising campaigns, they have more support. How do you see the political leadership's will to be supporting this sector?
I think President Sisi is very clear in his support to the youth, the women, the business in general,
yes,
the private sector, and it's a clear message to maybe the small enterprises as well as the other bigger enterprises, that Egypt is giving all its support to those companies. So I think it's a very clear message, and it is a very positive message, especially that we are in a year where we had COVID-19, that a lot of countries across the world are facing a number of economic problems.
Yes.
So I think that the president's support is very important at this year.
Yes, speaking of advertising and campaigns and the support today, we did see the support of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the soft power of Egypt, the drama of Egypt, as we did see in the past season of the holy month of Ramadan, the series Al-Ikhtiyar, or the choice.
Definitely.
We did see the big names being there in front of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Amir Karara, Ahmed Al-Awadi, Peter Mimi, the director, the whole staff or the whole crew of Al-Ikhtiyar, or the choice. How do you see the importance of this interaction to be being on the same side, and this support that we can see to the soft power of Egypt, as we did see before with Al-Mamar or the Passage?
I think that the soft power of Egypt is very important.
Yes.
The name Al-Ikhtiyar, or the choice, is very important, and it is one of the clear messages of the president this morning, is that the people need to understand the magnitude of the challenges that are on the country.
Yes.
And people need to be aware of this and make the right choice. And the president really talked about not only the Egyptian people watching the Ikhtiyar, but also even abroad. So this is a very important message, that our soft power is very important. The other thing is, it's a pride to see such heroes. It's a pride to the youth. It's a pride to all Egyptians. It's a pride to all the Arab world to see such big efforts. So such big sacrifice, I would
Yes.
say. And this, the series, or Al-Ikhtiyar, was really a great success, in my opinion.
Yes, it was a great success, and we will be having another part of it in the upcoming season of the holy month of Ramadan. But how did you see the awards or the speeches of the crew of Al-Ikhtiyar, the choice? Ahmed Al-Awadi speaking as
Yes.
the terrorist, or Hisham Ashmawi, the role that he had played
I think
for
it's
the
I think
choice.
it's a brave it's a brave act from him to take the role, and I think that the president have clearly stated that this is a big step and well appreciated step, and I think all the actors, I'm not I think they did a great job. Yeah.
Yes. And finally, regarding this part, how do you think it was very interactive for the Egyptian people awaiting the next episode of Al-Ikhtiyar every night on television? How did you see this interaction this season, as we haven't seen it in the past years?
I think the choice of the hero, I think the choice of Morsi is something that talks to all Egyptians.
Yes.
I think it's a hero that, and all our heroes that sacrificed for our country has been touching the Egyptian people, and really the series was talking to the youth.
Yes.
And we took our children to see it and see the level of sacrifice that those heroes are doing to us. So I think that we felt the human sacrifice, and how those people are really doing great sacrifice for our country.
And it was very important for us as Egyptians to be reminding ourselves of the acts of the heroes from the armed forces in the month of victory during the 6th of October war victory against Israel. Speaking and returning once again to the inauguration of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to the exhibition yesterday, Turathuna, or Our Heritage. In your opinion, what are the main challenges facing this sector?
I think that the main challenges are, or the first challenge is the big segmentation.
Yes.
It is a very big fragmented market. So being able to identify the best out of this fragmented market is the first challenge. The second challenge is maintaining quality, is really being able to have the right quality that goes with Made in Egypt brand, which is very important. The third challenge, which is very important, is scaling the business. So we have seen a lot of companies all across the world, starting by one person, starting in a garage, starting in small shop, and taking it to billions of dollars of revenues.
Especially in electronics.
In electronic business, even Coke was in a small shop.
Yes.
So one single person company can really take it to the international. So scaling the business is very important. I think those are the key three major challenges that I could see now.
Speaking of the challenges that are facing the handmade products or the handicrafts and the exhibition that we did see, and we have more information about in the upcoming report, as we'll be seeing the support given by the state under the political leadership and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to this sector. So let's see it.